Okay guys, I might make a start. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Luke Gallia, and today I'll be doing a fishing demonstration on soft plastics, especially about rigging them weedless, okay? Rigging them weedless. Now, I'm not going to stand here today and just preach on how good I am, or a fishing guide or a fishing guru or anything like that, but what I will say is I will challenge you to find anyone as passionate about fishing as I am, okay? It really is infectious. Now, despite having a full-time government job, this is how keen I am. I still work at Nash's Complete Angler every Saturday. I write for 5 fishing magazines, okay? Of course, North Queensland Fish and Boat being one of them, and being my absolute favourite magazine that I write for. I'm very fortunate that I am sponsored by Frogley's Offshore. Frogley's Offshore do brands such as Atomic and Gamakatsu. They provided me with the product and the content to give away today through the demo, to do the demo with and to pass out. They do Mega Bass, Bass Day, Mako, Sunnies, Kershaw Knives, all those good brands. So very, very lucky to be affiliated with those guys. Something very important as well, guys, those of you who fish, please check out my blog. I have a fishing blog, www.lukesfishingmission.com. So fishing, or fishing without the G, okay? So it rhymes, fishingmission.com. I put content on there every 3 to 4 days. I'm getting some really, really good traffic on there at the moment, okay, in terms of numbers. It's been going for about 9 weeks now, and had about 5,200 hits in 9 weeks, which is about 80 a day, or about 600 a week. So it's going really, really well. I keep everything local and relevant on there, so if you go on there, you'll see some of the spots I fish. Locally here in Mackay, you will see some of the fish I catch. You'll see the plastics that I use to catch them as well. Okay, I might move on to a little bit of my demo. I don't have a table here, but we'll just make do. Now, as I said, today I will be talking about soft plastics. Now, at home in my tackle trays at home, I've got a fishing room, and inside my fishing room, I have tackle trays upon tackle trays full of hard body, expensive lures. Okay? And I barely even take them with me anymore for the fact that soft plastics catch everything. Everything from brim, barra, your mangrove jack, grunter, salmon, flathead, even small whiting, even brim will hit a soft plastic. Okay, there's not much that don't eat plastic, so for that reason, my expensive hard bodies pretty much stay at home these days. I just take my jig heads and I take my plastics with me. And atomic ones are definitely some of my favourites by a long shot. Okay, so when it comes to soft plastics, you know, you get fish profiles, prawn profiles, yabbies, worms, whatever. My favourites are the Atomic Plazo prongs. Prongs are a prawn profile. A prawn profile is definitely my favourite soft plastic profile to use. Everything eats prawns, including us. We love them, fish love them too. You wouldn't see too many prawns in an estuary that would die of old age, put it that way. Okay, everything eats them. And they've got to be my favourite, and the Atomic Plazos are definitely my favourite brand in that prawn range. Okay, so I might actually move on to my demonstration. The purpose of my demonstration today was not only to talk about plastics, but to hook them weedless, like I was saying. Now, at Nashi's, 9 out of 10 people who I get through the door don't really know too much about weedless soft plastics. Now, fishing weedless soft plastics gives you the advantage to hook your lure up so that the point doesn't stick out or protrude to the fact that you get it nice and close to your rock bar, your structure, okay, your mangrove, your tree, your weed, whatever. It does not foul up on the structure because it sort of lays parallel with the top of the plastic, okay? It lies flat with it. However, when a fish crunches it, hits it, you probably can't see these here, but these are called Gamakatsu worm hooks, or EWG hooks. These hooks here give you that advantage of hooking them weedless. What happens is they've got a unique belly in them. When a fish crunches your lure, I'll pass these around later, or those of you who want to talk to me a bit more about it, I'll be at the North Queensland Fish and Boat stand just after this presentation. So if you want to, I can chew your ear off all day about fishing. Just come and talk to me about fishing. I'll talk to you all day about it. I live it and I breathe it, guys. Okay. Also, a massive plus with these hooks. Okay. And if you look at my, is this on? Is this still working? Okay. Yeah. Apparently I'm loud. I probably don't really even need this. Okay, that's a bit better. With these hooks as well, you'll see on my blog at Luke's Fishing Mission, and you'll see in my articles in North Queensland Fish and Boat, the amount of jaw hinge hookups I get with these hooks. Okay, they really hook them in the jaw 90-95% of occasions. So that has allowed me to go lighter on my leader and increase my bites. They say you go light to get the bite, and it is so true. Okay, on my little light outfit, on my little samurai rod, okay, I run 6-pound braid on a 2500 size spin reel, and I only use 10-pound leader. 10-pound leader, and I'm catching mangrove jack to 49 odd centimetres, barramundi to 65-70 centimetres, grunter to 50 centimetres, all on only 10-pound leader. Okay, anyone who knows jacks and barra and salmon, they know that they are notorious. You know that they are notorious for destroying 30 and 40-pound leaders and even more. But by going light, I can use these hooks, get them in the jaw, and that leader then does not go down its gob and rub through on that raspy jaw plate or on the teeth of the mangrove jack. So going light, I get more bites. You might lose the occasional one, okay, that's going to happen. But that's more than compensated by the higher amount of hookups I get in the jaw and landing those fish on 99% of the occasions. So I might actually start doing my demo now, okay? I'll open up these plastics. These are 4-inch prongs. Two of my favourite colours in the atomic prong range are red pumpkin and Carolina pumpkin. They're a natural colour. They're like a brownie, sort of pumpkin-y colour on the inside. They're like a prawn colour, okay? They're natural. I like to use natural. They say you match the hatch, they say. I don't like using a fluoro pink lure with a green head and orange stripes because no bait fish looks like that, okay? So as I mentioned, these hooks, you hook them weedless, which I'm going to show you now, and I can talk to you about this at the fish and boat stand. Okay, it allows you to throw that right into that dense structure and dance that over the most harshest of structure, the twigs, the mangroves, that real tiger country, and not foul up, okay? Whereas I'm a bit concerned every time I throw a $20 or $30 lure a bit close thinking, oh, I'm snagging up, I'm not going to get this thing back. But with these plastics weedless, they're pretty much snagless as well. That's also another sort of nickname for them, or snag proof. So basically with my prong, I just basically go in the front, in the centre, okay, keep it in the middle, push it in about 5 mils, and then come straight out the bottom. All I've done is gone straight through the middle and out the middle of the bottom. So in and out, okay? I feed that around now. It's a bit hard to see, I know, but as I said, I'll speak to you later about it if you like, at the fish and boat stand. Pulled it through and I've inverted it. Okay, I have now inverted it. So you're going to see when I enter from the ventral side and expose it out the dorsal side, it's going to lay flat along the top of the plastic. It's okay, so it's more snag proof. It's not sticking out, it's not exposed, it's not protruding. Okay, so that's what you want to get it in there. But when a fish crunches it, that moves down and the point gets exposed. So I'll just show you exactly how to do that again. So basically I am entering from the ventral side, the underside, and coming out the top. And that's just sitting there like that now. Okay, that's weedless. I'll show you. That's weedless there. So that's sitting along the top, and basically you can throw that in right into the mangroves, the rocks, wherever, but it's not going to snag up. But when a fish crunches it, it moves down into that hollow part of that hook. They've got a real big gape on them, and you always get them in the corner of the jaw. So you don't just have to use prawns, of course, they are my favourite to use, but you can use big jerk shads, 7-inch ones, fish, doesn't matter. You can hook them weedless. All you need to do is buy the appropriate size Gemagatsu worm hook, and you can rig anything from a 2-inch little curly grub or whatever, right through to your 7-inch or whatever. So these ones here are atomic piezo jerk minnows. Now I love these around shallow reefs for coral trout. I love these up in the dams at Peter Faust and Kinship for my barramundi. Okay, they're really, really good for that as well. Actually, I've caught my biggest barramundi, my PB of 1.8 m on one of these in that Carolina pumpkin holograph, that colour I was telling you about before. Okay, so here we go, 7-inch jerk shad. So with these, something I will mention, with that plastic that I rigged up there, you'll see that, and as you pass it around, you'll see it's a plastic and the hook, but there's no weight. A little important thing I forgot to remember, there's no weight. Like a conventional jig head has that weight to cast it and to sink. Okay, what you do, or what I do, is I run a small ball sinker in the bottom of my loop knot. I tie a loop knot. It's a good way to do it because it gives it that sort of more freeness through the water, gives it a better action. But I tie a small loop knot. The size and the sinker I put in it would be a size 0, even a 000, 000, up to about a size 1, depending on how deep I'm fishing and how much run there is in the tide. Will obviously dictate how heavy you go with your little sinker that you put in your loop knot, just like a conventional jig head would. Okay, you adjust it to the depth and to the amount of current through the water. Same thing with that. And actually a really good thing is, when I skip my lure through the water, I throw it out and I double hop my lure, like a prawn, just going hop hop off the bottom, let it sink, hop hop. Every time I'm doing that little hop hop, that little sinker is moving up into that eye of that hook, wherever it is, so somewhere out here, there it is, okay, into that eye of that hook and clinking up against that hook. And what noise does a prawn make as it skips through the water? Like a little flick flick as it's flicking away from a predator. It actually replicates that noise pretty well too. So it's also an auditory response as well for the fish, as well as giving you that weight to cast. And it's just the perfect rig, guys. It's 99% of the time that is the only way I fish, unless I'm going for flathead on the sandbars where I'll just use a conventional jig head because there's no snags there. Okay, that is the way I fish all the time. And you will see that backed up on my blog, Luke's Fishing Mission. You'll see that in Fishing Boat and the other magazines that I write for as well. So I'll sit out here and talk the talk, but you'll see that I walk the walk too, okay? You'll see that it's in there, in those magazines and on the blog. So I've got here my 7-inch jerk shad. I'll grab another hook. These are 6.0 Gamakatsu worm hooks, these ones. I actually prefer to use that little bit bigger. I like to use a 7.0 with these because it gives it a little bit more sort of belly in that hook and it's more compressibility. It has more room to compress down into that gape of that hook by having a larger hook, a larger gape in that hook. So the same thing. Enter the middle. Something I like about these jerk shads or jerk minnows, they've also got the slot there basically on the dorsal side where you would come out the top. So it really takes some of that guesswork out of it on where to sort of to come out. Now if you practice this, you'll probably butcher a few. I still butcher a few. You butcher a few before you get it right. It's a bit of trial and error. But after you've got this, guys, it's a very, very, very good way to fish. So once again, through the middle and down the middle and pull it out. Pull it through. Invert it. Okay, once again. Just bear with me. Through the bottom. And you sort of massage it with your finger a bit to see where it will come out. And I've come out the middle there. And it's basically just like that. And as you can see, I'm running my finger over the top. I'm not getting hooked up. So there's no way that's going to get hooked up on a mangrove root or a tree or a rock or through the weed. Just twitch it through. But when a fish crunches it, that moves down and your hook point gets exposed. Okay, it gets exposed and you get that characteristic jaw hinge hook up. And I think that's it. I've got my notes here. I didn't really need to look at my notes. I can talk to you all day about fishing if you let me. Like I said, I'll be at Fishing Boat Stand if you have any more questions. Like I said, I do have a bit of product and a bit of promo to give away. So I'll ask you a question shortly. Well, I'll let you guys answer some questions shortly. But what I'll do is I want to ask you guys a few questions to see who was listening. Who am I sponsored by? And who am I sponsored by for one?
Frogley's Offshore.
Frogley's Offshore is the key one.
Don't give me them.
There you go, Janie.
You can give them.
You can have some. You can have some lures. Now, what are some of the brands they import and distribute?
Atomic.
Yes, Atomic, Gamakatsu, Mega Bass, Bass Day, Samurai. One each. Okay. What is the name of my fishing website, my fishing blog site?
Fishing Mission.
Luke's Fishing Mission. Excellent. Who answered that? I think a lot of people answered that. That's great. Please go check it out. I also have, it's free to subscribe. If you subscribe, you basically just put your email address in. It's free. Every 3 or 4 days, like I said, when I put new content, you'll just get an email alert to say, hey, Luke's put something new. If you want, go have a look at it. Okay, that's all it is. It's free to subscribe. Also, for the younger ones or whoever's got Facebook, I shouldn't say younger ones because my parents had Facebook before I did. I've only had it a few weeks just for my site and it's going so well. I've also got Luke's Fishing Mission on Facebook as well, so please feel free to check it out and like it on there as well. Okay, how big was my personal best barramundi that I said I caught? Metre 8.
Champion.
That's the one. Metre 8. Someone else said it. There you go. You've already got something.
This bloke here behind somewhere.
I'll give it to you, mate, as well. Sorry, can't throw straight. What else can I say? What are the name of these plastics apart from atomic plazos? What was the specific prongs? There you go, champ. What about those ones? Atomic plazos, what? Jerk minnows. There must be mine, these ones. Okay, any other questions, guys? I'm happy to take questions, or I can see you at the fishing boat stand for more questions. I've got some more hats and whatever here, so I'll throw them out. A few of you guys in the audience. Oh, sorry. The sooty grunter. The sooty grunter, I actually, and if you check out on the blog as well, the sooty grunter, I like to use an atomic shiner. I actually put a blog up just last night of when I went on the show holiday on Thursday up the valley in my kayak, and we've got 5 nice sooty grunter on surface lures. So we're using poppers across the top, and we're using stick baits. I was using a mega bass stick bait that meanders from side to side, but I've also caught some very nice sooty grunter on the atomic plazo fat grub. It's a 3-inch grub tail type plastic, and once again I hook that weedless as well with that same hook, but I use a much smaller hook. I use a 3-0 or a 2-0. That's what I use for those, because when I'm fishing for them there's a lot of rapids, a lot of rocks, a lot of snags, and I can just bounce that off the bottom with my double hop. And I love my sooties. If you check out Luke's Fishing Mission, you'll just see where I put one up just last night. They are like very fastly becoming one of my favourite fish to catch sooties. They eat everything. Plastics, hard bodies, on the surface with poppers. They're very aggressive. They're great. They fight hard and they will mangle your hooks. If you don't have good hooks, they will just fold them like a pin. They are very strong. Okay, I'm going to pass these out again. Any further questions for here, or I can see you at Fish and Boat or whatever? I've got a few more hats anyway, 4 more hats. Whoever gets them. Thanks for taking my video too. There you go, guys. Oh, sneaky. Alright guys, that's about it from me. Actually, no, you know what? There you go. I don't need them.
I missed his head.
I don't need them. I get a very good deal with my sponsor, Frogman's Offshore, which I'm very fortunate. So thank you all for listening, and hope to see you on the water. Read about it in Fish and Boat, read about it in Luke's Fishing Mission, and I'll see you out there. And I'll see you at Fish and Boat if you need to talk any further. Thanks guys, have a good day.